Hey, so this semester I learned a lot about expectation. I'll give you an example. Part of studying abroad in Europe and having your life literally changed and becoming, enlightened and everything is traveling a lot. So, I'm going to a new airport, and, whenever I go through a new airport, I like to read up on it a little bit, try to understand, okay, if I shave before getting in line for security, would I have to shave afterwards? Like, hypothetically, if I grew facial hair, like, would a normal guy have to shave afterwards, sort of thing. So anyways, I'm researching this airport, the Beauvais-Thiel International Airport, and I keep finding all these articles about it. It's a well-documented airport. Things like 2015's top 15 worst airports to avoid in 2018, airports you should never fly through. I mean, there's just all these different articles, and there's kind of like this common theme throughout them that Beauvais is a bad airport, is essentially the theme. And so, when I get to the airport, my expectation is super low. And then, I come in, and with my uber low expectation, it's like, oh my gosh, this place is not that bad. I mean, for one, there are free restrooms. And if you've been to France before, that in itself is a really big deal. Like a restroom you don't have to pay 50 cents or bribe some person standing in front of it to get into. Like, wow. Although, to be fair, I have a hunch that the restroom is not actually free, and that by the time I'm 45, I will have paid for it significantly in medical expenses, just based on some of the fumes. But, for the moment, that restroom was free. There are other things too, like, airports are usually pretty well designed, and Beauvais was no exception. Has this like super cool urban warehouse feel. And then you find out that, oh yeah, it was a warehouse for the Allies, then the Nazis, and then the Allies again in World War II. But still, I mean, it doesn't matter that it was actually a warehouse. They didn't just design it that way. It's still like a cool contemporary design. Anyways, like, my experience at Beauvais just was not that bad. And then there's the airlines themselves. Of course, Beauvais only serves budget airlines, but they worked fine. Like, the plane took off and it landed, then it took off again and landed back, and it did that well throughout the course of the semester. Understandably, like, the experience on the plane is not the same as, like a normal airline. This whole time you kind of get a sense that the flight attendants, as they're like walking by with their 2-year-old LaCroix, like, they kind of know why you're here. And one time I accidentally made eye contact with one of them, and the look I got back just seemed to communicate, I know why you are here, and it is not so you will be treated as a prince. You are not a prince. I'm not going to treat you as royalty. You are here because we are cheap. I do not need to treat you well for you to come back. Okay. That's kind of like the vibe you get. But you know what? It works. So, the thing I took away from Europe, and I guess what I'm learning through this whole crisis here, is that just keep your expectations super low, and you'll be a happy camper.